What's up you guys, welcome back to a new video, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Elifrina and today I have a completely different type of video than I've ever done on my channel. So a couple of days ago I came across a case that really took my attention, and it's such a horrible case that I did want to share it on my channel, and especially because I've talked with a couple friends of me about this case and none of them knew about it, even though it's quite a recent case. Really, it's all over the news right now. Investigations are running right now at the moment that we speak, and I just wanted to bring some light to this case and talk about it because this story for real shouldn't go unnoticed. So with that being said, I did want to make it in one video, but I think this case is so long, so I think it will be in 2 videos. I'm not sure yet, depends on how long it will take me to film the first part. Yeah, I'm not gonna make the intro any longer of this because we do need the time. One more thing, follow me on my socials so you can keep updated about my life and know what I'm doing in my life, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. And then without further ado, let's get into this case. So today we're gonna talk about Vanessa Guillen. Vanessa Guillen was born on the 30th of September 1999. Her parents are Virgilio and Gloria Guillen. She has 2 siblings, one older sister named Myra and one little sister named Lupe. Family members described Vanessa as a loving and caring person. She loved to jog and she loved to stay active. In high school, she was in the soccer team and she performed as well in other physical activities in school. Vanessa had a very motivated mindset as well. In 2018, she graduated from high school in the top 15% of her class. When Vanessa was 10, she already knew that she wanted to join the army. So when she graduated from high school in 2018, in the June of that same year, she applied to join the army, and she did. She worked as a small arms and artillery repairer, and she was first based in South Carolina. After that, they sent her to Virginia, and after that they moved her again to the Fort Hood base in Texas. And Vanessa was really happy about that because that means that she would be closer with her family and friends, so she could be visiting them more often. Before Vanessa got transferred to Fort Hood, she seemed really motivated and she seemed really to enjoy her time in the military, but not long after she was transferred to Fort Hood, that all changed. Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020. That morning started off like any other. She woke up, texted her boyfriend, and went to the Fort Hood base. Vanessa's sister Myra tried texting Vanessa later that morning, but she didn't get any response. Not only didn't she get any response, but her messages weren't delivered either. That was quite weird because Vanessa was always someone who would keep in contact with her family, friends, or with her boyfriend. And after a while she tried calling her, but the phone went straight to voicemail. And after a couple of hours again of trying to call and text Vanessa, she took matters in own hands and tried to figure out why Vanessa wasn't responding. Myra called Vanessa's staff sergeant to see where she was, and this staff sergeant was the one who did the attendance. So Myra figured out if she wants to know where her sister is, she has to contact him. So Myra called around 8 p.m. and the sergeant told her that Vanessa was last seen around lunchtime, and that at 10 p.m. they have another check-in because they have a curfew between 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. and that she should be there then. But Vanessa didn't show up for check-in, and as soon as her family learned that she was missing, they started sharing it on social media so people would be aware about it, and they started handing out flyers to see if anyone had any information or that they maybe saw Vanessa, to help them find back their daughter and sister. When the base found out that Vanessa was missing, they found her car keys, her room key, her ID, and her wallet back in the armory room. And this was the room where they held all the weapons. And this was also the room where Vanessa was working that day. So Vanessa was last seen at 1 p.m. April 22nd, 2020 on the parking lot of the Regional Engineer Squadron headquarters, which is also based on Fort Hood. She was last seen wearing black Nikes, a black t-shirt, and light purple leggings. And a lot of people were wondering why she was wearing casual clothes instead of her uniform, and that was because actually she wasn't supposed to work that day, but I will elaborate a little bit later on about that. The moment that they learned that Vanessa was missing, they did find her car on the base of Fort Hood, but they couldn't find her phone yet. And authorities were wondering if maybe she ran away or just wanted to get away, and her family said that Vanessa wasn't like that. And they stated as well that none of her actions up to this day seemed like she wasn't happy anymore in Texas and that she wanted to get away from her life. Also, the fact that she left such important items in the armory room doesn't really give the impression that she hadn't planned to come back. Even though if someone wanted to disappear from such a big base, they wouldn't do that by foot. They will take their car, and like I said, Vanessa's car was still on the base. Even though Vanessa's family knew that she wasn't someone to just take off like that, they did notice that her behavior had changed since she started at the new base. Everyone saw that something was going on that made her less happy than she used to be. Myra shared text messages with Vanessa where Vanessa expressed that she wasn't happy anymore on Fort Hood, and that, quote, that hopefully one day that she could open up about what was bothering her, end quote. Vanessa's mom, Gloria, also came forward about a phone call that she had with her daughter 3 weeks before her disappearance. In this phone call, Vanessa told her mother that she was sexually harassed by one of her sergeants. She also told her mom that she wasn't feeling safe anymore on the base and that she was being stalked and followed around when she went for jogs, and also that she slept really badly because of this situation. Obviously, Vanessa's mom, Gloria, was really sad and mad about this new information that she got from her daughter, and she practically told Vanessa, like, you have to make a report about this. This is not okay. Vanessa told her mom that this wasn't the first sergeant that did this on the camp and that multiple people came forward, but they were just dismissed. And as I said, Vanessa's dream was always to work for the US Army, and she didn't want to take the risk to being dismissed by reporting one of her sergeants. To not get her or her family in danger, she asked her mother to not get involved. She told her mom that she could put a stop to it herself. Okay, so now I just want to talk about Fort Hood for a second. So the Fort Hood base is based in Texas, and it's one of the largest military bases in the entire world. There are at least 40,000 soldiers working on only that base, but allegedly there have been happening really strange things for years now on the Fort Hood base. As a matter of fact, this is not the first case of someone go missing on this base. Not even a year ago, 24-year-old soldier Gregory Weedle Morales went missing on the 19th of August 2019. Gregory was last seen driving his own vehicle outside the Fort Hood base in Keelan, Texas. And it was just on the 19th of June this year that a tip came in about human remains that were found nearby the Fort Hood base. And on the 21st of June, Gregory was positively identified due to his dental records. Authorities are thinking about foul play, and they don't think that these two cases are involved, and they are still looking for evidence about what happened with Gregory Weedle Morales. Okay, so the Fort Hood base has 4 different gates where you can enter or exit from, but due to the virus, only one gate was open. All soldiers, when they want to pass through the gate to get out or get in the base, they have to scan their IDs on an ID scanner, so the base will know who is on their property or who just left. During the period that Vanessa went missing, there were no visitors allowed on the base because of the virus as well, and they had a curfew between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. The base told Vanessa's family as well that they weren't allowed to enter the base to search for Vanessa because of the virus, and they claimed that they had 500 of their own soldiers looking for Vanessa on the base itself. Authorities were mainly focused on searching for Vanessa on the base itself. I think personally that it is because Vanessa, her badge was found in the armory room, and because she never checked out at the gate, and it would make more sense for them to look on the base. But keep that in mind because we will come back to that as well. Vanessa's phone records were recovered on the 28th of April 2020, and the last person she had contacted or she had contact with was one of her colleagues named Aaron David Robinson. Like I said before, Vanessa wasn't supposed to be working, but this colleague asked her to come by the armory room because she had to bring some paperwork for a machine gun that they had to surface. The USA CID interviewed Aaron about the day that Vanessa went missing, and he stated that he was on a off-posted residence that he shared with his girlfriend, Cecily Aguilar. Aaron told the investigators that he only left the residence once to go back to base because he had to sign in on a government computer to do some sort of training. Vanessa's friends and family were searching for her every day. And one of the big search parties that they held was in Millers Park. Millers Park was about a 30 minutes drive from the Fort Hood base, and it was such a big park that they wanted to make sure to cover in the entire park just to be sure if they could find anything that belongs to Vanessa or could lead them to Vanessa, or maybe find Vanessa herself. Okay, so this case gets crazier by the minute. One of the sergeants of the Fort Hood base contacted Gloria, Vanessa's mom, and he had to stay anonymous because otherwise his life would be in risk. So the sergeant told Gloria that Vanessa had been kidnapped and be held on the base, and that she would be traveling via secret underground tunnels that lead outside. Gloria said as well that the sergeant mentioned that Vanessa wasn't the only one that experienced it, so that multiple people were traveled or actually like human trafficked like this. So the thought of Vanessa telling her mom that there were multiple sexual arrest victims on the base that were afraid to come forward because what would happen with them or with their family, Vanessa herself that was afraid to come forward about what would happen with her family or with herself, and this sergeant telling Gloria that he had to stay anonymous because otherwise his life would be at risk, just makes me scared for all the other soldiers who are on that base right now. And if you look up all the things that went down on that base, it's not normal. It's unbelievable that this is going on for such a long time already. People are going missing, people are being shot at. There was a mom of 4 children shot. I think she died as well. I'm not sure what happened there, but I think she died. There are also rumors that there is a sort of church that visits the base to abduct people and put them in their church, but it's a church, but they say it's also like a cult. Really, if you want to look up, I'll put the links down below in the description box so you can see all the things that are going on in the Fort Hood base, but it's way too much to just discuss in this video. I'm not sure if I understood this correctly, but what I understood is if a crime happens on military base, the CID will be responsible to investigate the case. And honestly, after the 28th of April, not a lot had changed in this case. As far as I understood about all the things that I read and heard about it, they didn't really make any improvement. And later on it came forward as well that they didn't put all efforts in to find Vanessa, so that's really sad. But actually between the 28th of April and the 18th of May, I don't have a lot of information about this case because I just couldn't find it. Okay, so also I don't know if this is true, but I have heard that the police department of Texas, or the city that they lived in, had offered to help the military on the base or outside or whatever, and that they denied because it's a military crime case, and that the CID was responsible about this investigation. So yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if that's really true, but it's something that I read somewhere. So that's kind of weird as well. Like, if you know that someone is missing and it's such a thing, you will need all help of all people, right? They kept looking for Vanessa. They kept putting pressure on Fort Hood to visit the base and to give them extra information, but as far I understood, that wasn't an easy job either. Fort Hood didn't want to give them any good information or any specific information about certain things. Myra, Vanessa's older sister, did start a fundraiser to cover the cost of a private investigator and for their attorney. I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry. Attorney. I'm sorry, I can't. So they did start a fundraiser for those two things. So if you want and if you can, I'll put the link down below in the description box so you could help them out a little bit. And Myra wrote, "My sister did not sign up to the army to be held against her will. We need to find her and get justice." And this was around the time that they still believed that Vanessa was really kidnapped and that she was held against her will or being human trafficked or anything like that. Yeah, so they believed that she was still alive. Now moving on to the 18th of May 2020, two witnesses were interviewed by the CID and they stated that they saw Aaron pulling a large tow box with wheels under it and that it seemed heavy. They stated that he came out of the armory room and that he put the tow box on his personal vehicle and drove away. On the 19th of May 2020, Aaron consented them to search through his phone and they found multiple phone calls to his girlfriend Cecily Aguilar through the night of the 22nd of April until 3:30 a.m. the 23rd of April. And then during the day of the 23rd of April, Aaron received a lot of phone calls from Cecily. The Aguilar family made multiple social media accounts to make people aware about Vanessa's sexual assault allegations and her disappearance. Due to the social media attention that Vanessa's case got, other military members that were victims of sexual crimes on duty started sharing the hashtags I am Vanessa Guillen or we are Vanessa Guillen with their story, what happened on base when they were on duty. One that I remember was from a lady that worked 18 years ago on the Fort Hood base and that was sexual harassed as well. Can you believe that this has been going on for years, like for such a long time? It's not normal. And Vanessa's little sister Lupe told the news, the ABC News, she was afraid to report it. She reported it to her friends, she reported it to her family, she even reported it to other soldiers on base, but she didn't want to do a formal report because she was afraid of retaliation and being blackballed. And she, like most victims, just tried to deal with it herself. On that note, I want to close off this video for today. I am not even near the end of this case, and the reason why I want to run it off right now is because I don't want to give you misinformation. Honestly, there's a lot of things that I still have to research. When I heard about this case, I went on a research drift for 2 entire days. Even then, I don't have all the information yet. Every day there is new information coming up. If you search on YouTube Vanessa Guillen, you get on every hour there are new videos and new information coming out about this case, especially because a lot of things were withheld and everything starts to come out from now. So yeah, on that note, like I said, I want to pull back for a second, get something to eat maybe, and especially because it's such a recent case, I do want to give the family my full on respect by not making too much allegations and just do my research correctly to send out good information into the world and give you as well the correct information about this case. Like I said, I will link down below our research points and the fundraiser that Myra started for Vanessa. If you can, please help them out for this case. Turn on post notifications for these videos because I will not upload them on my regular days. I will upload them as soon as they are finished. So with that being said, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the second part about Vanessa Guillen's case.